Uh, this really doesn't have any opinions. This is just kind of a map tour. Rath uploaded his video about the land takeover, which I don't think they should be allowed to do, by the way. For instance, right in here, this would be part of it. What the hell is a reason for them to be taken in an area that is heavily frequented by hikers? You know? But anyway, some theories on why they would. First of all, let me do this. He mentioned the sword hideout. Sword killers, what I call sword killers hideout, is right here, not far of a walk up from the M Cave. And he mentioned I took it from over in the mountains. You know, not far off, but actually I was just right here. These mounds are maybe 50 feet high. And I took a picture directly looking across, barely, I don't know, 300 feet away, 400 feet away. Here's that picture. Here it is. So not all came down from this direction and worked it over. So the tent and sword and stuff was behind. So that's that picture. Let's see what else. I almost walked over. But I would have walked over for interest in Indian stuff, and I didn't do it. Otherwise, I would have found the sword. But I had to be sure I would get back, so I had a decision to make. Anyways. As far as the land takeover, the border would be all along here, and so at first I thought, see, here's some different theories on why they would want to do it. That first of all, the Kenny Veach thing most certainly was part of it. Not necessarily from a standpoint that Kenny Veach saw a bunker or something like that, but they did see the first year of Kenny Veach, this area, which had been somewhat private, was now hundreds of people were going up there. And so it encroached very closely to where people could view over into Area 51, which the line Jeff Claw or Warlike Rats have shows it along here. That's a question I have is that, when I type it in, I keep coming up with all kinds of different borders. I'm not really sure if there is an exact clear border, that they're different. Sometimes the line would be here. Sometimes it would be here. I believe this one is right. But there's no getting it straight over the years. You look at the maps and it's hard to tell where in the hell it is. But this is Area 51, that's for sure. So if Kenny Veach came down here and went over into here, he could go up into here, and you could do what you want. Anybody can. This is an area that I call area of interest because he might have gone over there. But once you cut across and go through this cut, then, I think the line is right here. To go in there, you are in Area 51. You're going into Area 51. It's too bad because the Octagon of Mystery is right there. I'd like to know what it is, just for my own general curiosity. The pinkish lines, I drew those in there. But a perfect octagon. I don't know why, but there's something in the middle of it that has something to do with something. But anyway, another idea on why they would want that area when they saw that it was being heavily frequented right on the edge of Area 51 is Alamo Road. That's why it's called the Alamo Road land grab. There's Alamo Road the way I perceive it. And so the issue is that you have Alamo Road frequented by traffic, literally. Like here's Area 51 and there's Alamo Road. So you have Alamo Road that I'm sure they don't like, goes right along the edge of Area 51. Let's see. As far as bombing, well, I'm thinking about it, that people think like I think the group is called Friends of the Nature Reserve or the Sheep Range or whatever. Now they picture that the line is going to be here, that means they're going to be bombing along the sides of these mountains. They wouldn't do no such thing. I mean, you're virtually on the edge of town. See, that's Las Vegas. So we do hear a bombing when they do their, several times a year, their war games. You do hear the bombing, but I don't know where it's coming from. That I don't know if it's out here, but you definitely hear the bombs going off. So I'm curious, does anybody know where that is? I think it most likely is over here, the Nellis range. The Nellis military range, whatever you call it, you know, all this stuff in here. I think the bombing likely is taking place out here. Now, if a person zooms up and searches around, you can see craters if you can find them. I haven't bothered to do it, but when we hear the bombing in Las Vegas, I picture it as being up here. So this area 51, that I'm not sure if they do bomb in there, because I've been up there a couple times, driven along many times, and I never hear no bombs going off. I do see drones landing right next to the road, big, huge drones. But I've never heard any bombing up in here. So I think it's wrong that the reason they want to extend the line is that they want to bomb the sheep range. However, as the city encroaches and hikers are going up in here, working the area over the years, the city starts, you know, encroaching, that they likely view that, well, we want to extend the area because we're getting right up where we're right next to the city, next to Area 51. So, you know, I don't know, there's just a couple of ideas. But anyway, that's what I wanted to point out. I was thinking about Kenny Veach, and he did his pine nut thing, which was like 20 minutes of his video. So I was thinking, well, this is the same time of year. Now, I don't know if there were pine nuts this year. Every year doesn't have, they don't necessarily seed every year. But he went up there and spent 20 minutes showing the pine nuts. So I don't know how this would pertain to the search, but it's highly unlikely that he went up there and didn't do pine nuts. Didn't do pine nuts. He would have been right there with them. He had just been there 2 or 3 weeks ago. So I don't know. If anything, that might give credence to that he may have been in this area longer than what we think, not just passing through, because right here is Pine Nut Grand Central Station. You may not think it, but it is. That's right here is where he took his famous video doing the pine nuts. So anyway, there you go. Usual complaint, there's no way to pause a video. Why is it that you can't pause a video and then hit record again? It starts hitting record again. Can somebody tell me that? Anyway, that's all for this one.